It's time to kickstart your day with laughter and great vibes.
That's right. Grab your coffee and get ready for a sizzling morning packed with the hottest topics and the coolest tunes.
We've got everything you need to jumpstart your day, from news that matters to interviews with your favorite. We're dishing out those feel-good stories that will put a smile on your face.
So sit back, relax, and let us spice up your mornings. The Punch Breakfast Show starts now.
Stay tuned for a morning full of energy and entertainment, right here on Punch Radio 106.7 FM.
Sit back, relax, and let us spice up your mornings. The Punch Breakfast Show starts now.
Stay tuned for a morning full of energy and entertainment, right here on Punch Radio 106.7 FM.
Oh yeah, it's Monday. Another great week. After a pleasant weekend, like I said, after a pleasant weekend, let me say good morning to you wherever you are, however you're listening. Welcome to the Punch Breakfast Show. Today is Monday and it's the 15th day of the month of July 2024. Let me say good morning. That's my name. I'm present here for you this morning, driving you through 9 minutes past 7. 9 minutes past 7 o'clock. Welcome wherever you are. This is how I'm gonna bring you today's edition of the show. It's gonna be taking you from now up until 10 o'clock. Yeah, another fascinating discussions coming your way. You have to gear up for the rain because the weather is kind of cloudy out there this morning. So if you are going out there, please go with your rain gears. There, please go along with your rain boots, your umbrella, raincoat, whatsoever that can protect you from the rain. Just have to carry it out for you. Carry with you this morning wherever you are going. So let me say good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Punch Breakfast Show. Today is Monday, that is the 15th day of the 7th month of the year 2024. Welcome. Very soon, as soon my colleague Harry John in, I will be crossing over to him. But today, we have few things to look at this morning. And it's going to be another fascinating discussion that will take us up until 10 o'clock. You just don't want to move or walk away from your radio because today's edition is going to be a great show. And your presence matters a lot. Yeah, you being there matters a lot to us. So just sit back and relax. As we make news, as we discuss this morning on the Punch Breakfast Show, over the weekend, the former president of the Republic of Liberia arrived in country. Yeah, Mr. Weah was welcomed by his supporters at the Rabos International Airport. I want to say welcome, Mr. Former President. Welcome to Liberia. After being away, he's back in country, and there are a few things that are trending this morning, and yeah, we expect very soon the second batch of the yellow machines to arrive in country. And a lot of things are trending. Lots of things are trending in the country. The former finance minister Boema Kamara resigned his position because of health issues, and the National Oil Company of Liberia contemplate on investing hugely in Breakfas County. It has concluded inventory assessment of the properties in Breakfas County, Yeah, that's another one there making news in our border politics. Tension in Nimba County. The issue about this land dispute is still kind of making news, and the folks there in Nimba County, I don't know, the government have to move in because they are planning on a massive protest in Nimba County, and it's not good for our economy. Yeah, the former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, escaped assassinate. He was nearly assassinated at a rally there in the great United States of America. Wow. But the person that tried to assassinate him was gunned down, meaning he was killed. Yeah. So, he went for a rally in that part of America, and they attempted assassinating him um, in that part of the United States. It's been a trending news in America, and a lot of people, then why since such a thing happened to a former president of the United States, and we want to say hats up to Mr. Donald Trump, the Spanish boys. Yesterday I was so excited when my star of the game, that's Spain, won the trophy. That's the European Cup trophy yesterday, and it was so exciting. Yeah. It was so great, and uh, Argentina also. Yeah, so Madrid men of verse. But just to spice up this morning, the show, like I said, as soon my colleague arrive, we'll be kick starting the show. But before he can prepped up and sit, there was this tension over the weekend at the Rabos International Airport. Um, you know, the issue about security in our country, um, the government will have to beef up their security. They will have to um, create room for more police officers, more security to join the force. What am I talking about? There was a scene at the Rabos International Airport over the weekend. And, some folks, the Coalition of Democratic Change, they have gone there over the weekend to welcome former President Josh Manawia. But there was a barricade put in place by security apparatus at the Roberts International Airport. We saw the presence of military personnel, folks from the Liberia, that's the armed forces of Liberia. They were there present. Folks from Liberia National Police were there present. The DEA, that's the LDEA, Liberia Immigration Service, and other military officers were all present at the Rabos International Airport. But this is my takeaway from that incident at the airport. And this will drive me to what I'm about to say here this morning. Citizens were on their way to the Rabos International Airport, and there was a barricade placed at the airport because that's our only international airport. And with what occurred over the weekend, probably a lot of people they never witnessed the video from what occurred at the Roberts International Airport. But they became disgruntled and trying to force their way in the main terminal. And the security officers folks from the Liberian National Police, the armed forces of Liberia, tried stopping them from entering because they knew that former President Weah was making his way out. There was no need for you guys to enter the terminal. But McGill, who is a senator, Akaros Moses Gray, who is now the angriest former lawmaker in Liberia, because the guy is so angry to the extent he thinks that election is just tomorrow. For Gray thinks that election is just tomorrow, and he thinks that we the Liberian people, we should just remove Joe Boakai today and replace him with Josh Manuel. That's just what I can't think. So he's just running from one radio station to another, creating a scene that this government is now unpopular, so we should remove them. Great talk with him talks. The man went to the ghettos in district number 8. He went to the ghettos in West Point, talks with him to the Roberts International Airport to create a scene. And later on, when I saw the security apparatus creating the avenues wherein they will now create a problem between they and the talks that Akaros Gray hired to go at the Roberts International Airport, I was like, okay, no, that's no problem. But again, Gregory Coleman and others will have to beef up the security. You can't sit down and allow a funny-looking man like Gray, who's so angry because of a defeat in district number 8, to take security into his own hand. No, we'll not sit here, we allow some of these things to happen, because Gray then thought that they couldn't have left the position they were serving in. But today, the angry general, the angry loser in Gray is the one creating problem in our country. And let me say this. This is a country of peace. You were given the opportunity to serve. You are given the opportunity to serve for 6 years. The Coalition for Democratic Change, you guys were given the opportunity to serve for 6 years. And your standard bearer, a person of Mr. Weah, who said he's a peace ambassador, served for the 6 years. And the Liberian people saw that you guys this morning perform. That's why you were kicked out of the position that you previously served. That's why you guys were kicked out. And today, you guys have become so angry and think that just within 7 months' time, we should have another election. You guys think that instead of 6 years, it should be 6 months. And I feel sorry for the youth, those that are putting their neck on the line. When your government were in power, you guys were sidelined. You guys never benefited anything from the Weah administration. All you guys served us was there just to be the Muya boys, to be the I will say boys. The guys in power, the Gray, the McGill, the Weah, the Koji, and others, they enjoy themselves. They live luxurious life. They build condominiums for themselves, not for you. But you are the Muya boys. All you fit for is to go and say, Muya, I will say, that's just all you are created for. That's just all God placed you on earth for. To be loyal to somebody, whether the person is doing good or not. Once the person is working, that's your happiness. Yeah, that's your happiness. And folks, you would think that this country will go back to where it became from, or we'll go back to chaos. No, we will not go back. If you think that because you are no longer serving position, you create chaos in our country, my brother and sister, you are lying. Because this government is mature enough. This government is mature enough. They will not buy for your childishness that you keep creating in this country. They will not buy in for it. They will not buy into it, because what am I saying? What I'm trying to say is that the lack of great coaching and others, you guys, you thought that this type of time couldn't have reached. You thought that you were never going to leave power. You thought that everything was going to be bread and butter for you. But now, here we are today. Here we are. You guys are powerless. You started running behind people, killing the auditors, killing permanent people, Liberians, under your administration. You thought that you couldn't be powerless. Today, you guys have been put to your areas, your place. And when I see the lack of somebody that is politically a political nobody, but I don't blame him. I blame the folks in my country. What he wrote his on his page. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get what he wrote over the weekend. This regard of our laws must stop. Deploying the army during the arrival of a former president who is now an active politician is unacceptable. We will not remain silent in the face of such indigenous action. It's time to prioritize the peace and security of our country. Cease these actions immediately. You know, when this guy, friend in person of Josh Mane, we are served as president, not a day the leg of Musa Berete wrote a sentence against Mr. Weah. No, probably you're not getting what I'm saying. When President Weah was in power, not a day we saw a press release or a statement on a page of Musa Hassan Berete criticizing President Weah. But here he is today. Everything that happens in this country becomes an issue for him. Everything that happens in this country becomes an issue for Musa. Why is it that way? Then when I see folks from the Unity Party trying to buy into his, into his ideas, trying to fall prey to what he normally preach, it becomes sickening. This man, we are 6 years in power, Not a day Musa Hassan Benete ever put out a statement, even though he was serving as a chairman for one of the leading political, that's the opposition political party in the Liberty Party. But not a day Musa Hassan Benete put out a statement against his former friend George Mawia when he was president. This is the man. This is the man that is always seen having issues with what with what happening in the country. We are coming to the country. When you go put security put there, they may get there. They coming in of the coming in country of the yellow machine, they may vest. Because I'm not a colleague or friend, George, we are bringing it. When George we were flying private jet all around here, he had no issue with that. No. He had no issue with his colleague flying private jet. But he have a serious issue with Joe Buakai and others bringing in machine that will build our rules. Somebody will say, Buakai, you are becoming biased on the issue about yellow machine. My brother, let me not lie to you. I have suffered so much making my way from here to Vonjama. A lot. I have suffered so much making my way from here to other counties. Nimba. Not Nimba, but Bapolu, Cape Mount, even the Tottenham Member. Because of bad roads. You think I will sit down wherein the Liberian people are yearning for something? The Liberian people are yearning for something. You think I will sit down a lawmaker that benefited immensely, that is taking $45,000 for a car? No, I'm talking about 45 whipping thousand United States dollar for car that they will get SUVs that can take them any part of this country. But the ordinary citizens, those that commute daily, are facing a problem, are feeling a pinch. You think I will let go of that because of one phony lawmaker that have problem with somebody? They say not following rule of law. Of course, the president said, you guys should wait. He will follow all of the channels. He will follow all of the rules. If you really serious and don't want for the coming in of the machines, yeah, you're for the 5,000, you're give it to honor. You're give it to the Liberian people. The 45,000 that you're crying for today, you just tell us, say, oh, you get our money to the Liberian people. We don't want car again. You give it to the Liberian people. But you sit here, you guys are crying for cars, crying for $45,000. But we, the Liberian people, that to move from here to Bapolu is an issue. To move from here to Grand Jide is an issue. Even the Grand Crew that we are hails from. Now go and see the roads. Even though the yellow machines haven't started yet, but go and see the roads. We are in the month of July. You know the rain, when they say rain falling, July, it's non-stop. June, July, August, September. We thought by this time the road would have been deplorable. That's why you guys thought. So the thing that occurred at the Roberts International Airport, was it not a disrespect to the rule of law? by trying to bust into the terminal at the Roberts International Airport by a few citizens, by disrespecting our police officers, disrespecting our army, by citizens, were they not against the rule of laws? Oh, no. Probably you guys ain't seen anything wrong with that. When it comes to that one, you're having no problem with it. But something that will benefit the Liberian people is why you guys have problem with it. When I sit here and allow you guys to come and make up look like this thing here because it's not in our interest. We're not the one bringing in the yellow machines, we should have problem with it. No. That one machine that you get in Nima County, we're running from one district to another district, making you look like you're a godfather for Nima, it will not work. Our yellow machines will come, and we, the Liberian people, will benefit from it. We will benefit in a sense that it will help fix our rules. It will help do a lot of things for us, and nothing will stop that. Absolutely nothing will stop that. Let me cross over to my colleague and welcome him this morning. Harris, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Bokai, and good morning, everyone. I'm good this morning, and I'm doing great as well. And I hope that you are doing well, just the way I am this morning.
Sure, I'm doing pretty well this morning. I guess you follow the return of the former president, George Manawia.
Of course,
in country.
I have been following the activities there at the Roberts International Airport. I follow all of the happenings, the different reactions, the situation that occurred. I have been one person that closely followed that over the weekend.
Okay. Was there any takeaway? Because there was a scene at the airport wherein citizens try to do a lot of other things there at the airport. Sorry, I'm trying. There's a problem here. The citizens try to make their way in at the terminal, where even though they were stopped by securities apparatus at the airport, it was a dramatic scene there at the Roberts International Airport. They placed a video in a chat room. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw. I witnessed the video. I watched the video, and even I went as far as following the different reactions from quote unquote political activists, if we will have any of them in Liberia, and the different reactions. And Boakai, it is just side. When you ask on my takeaway is that I think democracy is having people having their will, and everyone is free to express themselves. Everyone is free to associate. Everyone is free to assemble, as well as people are free to establish a political organization that what he or she thinks about the running of the country can be tailored, can be centered, can be designed within our political institutional framework. And that's why we have elections. So then we go for elections, you sell out your platform to the people whoever emerges, they favorite in the minds of the people, they reconcile with that decision, and they obviously take over the nation seat. That's how it has been. So if you were to ask me on the running of the CDC, Boakai, it is just a side one. All through those trends I've explained that people are free to express themselves, people are free to assemble, people are free to associate, as well as free to establish a political institution. All of these trends come with responsibility. That a greater responsibility is on the survivability of the state. That a greater responsibility is resting on the survivability and the shoulders of the government to protect and to provide an environment where everyone will be free, regardless of whatever way you come from. That freedom must be in line with the peace and the security of the state. So if we're to hold that account, it's constant. Enjoying the situation that happened at the Breakfas International Airport over the weekend. Buckeye, it is disturbing. Buckeye, it is saddening. And it is very uncivilized. And it is the first of its kind in a long while in our governance structure that we see such a happening. Now, on the part of the CDC, it was unacceptable. It was out of order, Buckeye. And if you were to ask me, I would tell you that it is just a disgrace. It is a disgrace to the formation of the CDC. It is a disgrace to the CDC as a party. And the worst of all, it is a disgrace to the CDC as an institution just from power. Buckeye, you know what's this? You know what distinguishes you from that of others is that if you had a time to sit in that seat, right? And when you leave, when the next man is there, you be very careful in terms of your criticism, in terms of your action, because you understand that when you're in that seat, you bear the greater responsibility. And so if you have left that place and understand how the country should be and how the running of how the affairs of the country should be managed, it is a disgrace to sit outside and want to create a situation of cause disturbance for you, for the next man that's in the city. And this is what happened over the weekend. Now, I listen to a lot of folks say, oh, they carry army people to deploy at the port, at the airport, and it was wrong, it was this, it was that. Now, let's hold that constant. The law provides that the army or the military personnel can only come out when there's a situation that seems uncontrollable. When there's a situation that seems that the police are overwhelmed, right? Or it presents further danger. Now, in situations like that, then you can have the interference of the national, of the Liberian army, right? Can come in to assist. But let's look at when it is at the airport. Now, when it is at the airport, Buckeye, what happens is that you have the National Security Agency, the NSA, that is primarily one of their main operational areas is at that airport. So what the NSA will do, Buckeye, even though there will be police presence, and this is what I want people to get this morning, and this is where my frustration comes in, and I was disappointed in a thing for representative called Musa Benete. This is where my disagreement, because Buckeye, when people ought to understand the law, when people present themselves as they are the only ones that have the monopoly over the rulings of things, they are the ones that should, the way they think of the way things should be, that's the way it should be. So when you wake up in the morning and when situation happen, that's why around the world you see politicians, those that call themselves politicians, those that see politics as a way of life, those that venture into politics because they want change. They have consultants, they have experts that are assigned with them particularly, so that before they speak or before they say things, they must look at it from all sides. So at that level, if a Benete will have hired a security expert or perhaps a security advisor with him as a representative or a political matter of fact, and such a situation happen, that political officer will have advised him on the both ways, and he will have made informed decisions, have said something very logical. But that trash of a thing he wrote, Buckeye, is just so sad. Now, this is what happens when it is at the port, at the airport, or at the National Port Authority. Entrances leading to our country, right, and out of our country, as with the port and out of the National Port, in the Breakfas International Airport. This is where I want you to get this morning. You have the NSA. The NSA sits at that area and responsible for all the intelligence. The NSA manages all of the intelligence at the various entrances, because they are the national security agents of Liberia. Once you enter the territorial space of Liberia, the NSA is responsible to track and monitor all of your territory security-wise now. So that one, it goes beyond the military. It goes beyond the Liberian National Police or the airport security. So in this light, the NSA will see if there are a potential threat to the survivability of the state or the peace and security of the state. What the NSA will do is I will communicate that information to the Ministry of Justice. So when the NSA communicate that information to the Ministry of Justice, that is, for instance, at the airport now, and the NSA sees that there is some security danger that I know a situation has, the NSA will be very fast and communicate that information to the Minister of Justice. Now, the Minister of Justice then will use his discretion. So the Minister of Justice will use a discretion to say, okay, if this thing is now, perhaps this thing, this thing doesn't warrant as a matter of fact this way, because mind you now, the Minister of Justice is the head of the joint security. Now, the joint security comprises of both military, paramilitary, and all other security institutions in this country. Right? That's how the joint security manages that information. I'm saying the Minister of Justice sits at that level. So it is with the discretion again of the Minister of Justice to understand that if this situation that the NSA has communicated to me warrants perhaps under security presence, or perhaps the situation might be one that's more of just a security presence, or have other, paramilitary or joint security as well aiding the police in this direction. That decision lies with the Minister of Justice. Now, let's go back to what happened. Prior to the entry of George Weah in the country, there were already statements in the airwaves, on different media platforms, that those surrogates of George Weah, the big boss of George Weah, were already on radio and across the public space sending out threatening remarks that if our president can't hear us stopping, your level will do. That this thing will happen, we'll go at that place, and any attempt for you to stop us will infiltrate, right? Will cause disturbance at that place. In Buckeye, just the same time George Weah was arriving, George Weah was never the only person at that time that arrived in Liberia. Neither George Weah was the only person at that time that was using the airspace of Liberia. That's the first thing you want to consider. The time that George Weah was using, or the time that George Weah arrived, there were over there were over 100 persons or more was at that airport needed at the same time to use either to leave Liberia or to enter Liberia. So this is not just about George Weah, that the security presence at that airport was only about George Weah, was never the case. So if the NSA in a situation, which of course I believe 100%, who have communicated, because Seditiona arrived at the airport prior to the arrival of George Weah. As usual,
they went there 2 morning.
As usual, that's how. And Braka around the world, if you carry, this thing here, this is what my problem is. Most of the others that have had the time to travel to Liberia, they have experience. If a person, whether a political leader, whether a former president or whatever, when you are arriving in a country, and if there's a need for cheering squad or for battle cry, it is important that the airport authority use that description. Again, this is where leadership comes in. They use that description, understanding that perhaps you cannot overwhelm perhaps the terminal or perhaps the corridor of the airport, because there are all passengers as well. You cannot inconvenience them because you have one George Weah coming in the country. So you want to inconvenience the rest of us that are using that space at the same time. So what is at times in some other countries, there will be boundaries that you cannot cross. You cannot you cannot pass that place. Perhaps the airport authority will use a discretion and say you will be perhaps just at the entrance of the airport. Or unless for important, dignitaries or perhaps party leaders will be allowed to go and receive that leader at the main terminal. Or perhaps on the airspace as where the plane will be. After the plane taxes, then maybe you go there and receive your political leader. That's it. But aside all other persons, cheering squad, placards, posters, or whatever thing, you will be allowed to stay at the entrance. As an airport will be that way. That when you go, you receive a political leader. When he gets out, if there's a need, you do a formal, greeting or whatever, it be done that way. Then you also have the space of the airport, because you do that for security. Others might use that time as well to cause a problem for other passengers at that place. Others might use that time as well
To hijack
or to vindicate
Yeah.
the premises of the airport.
Mhm.
These things require security. It has security implications. So if the NSA had communicated to the Minister of Justice that this is the thing, is at 10 o'clock, we see the airport space is already overwhelmed. And all of those are coming. There are those that are loyalists to the former president that will be arriving. It has a security implication. So there is a need that will strengthen the security or will beef up the strength of the security on the airport. So now the Minister of Justice say, okay, fine. If that's the case, Gregory Cuomo was already on ground. Thankfully, he had police officers already been deployed. But again, like I said, the Minister of Justice have used the discretion that perhaps just a police officer, especially at the time we're having people for no reason disrespect our police officer, for no reason they feel not to listen to the police officers. So the Minister of Justice will have used the situation. Then let's have the joint security this time. So the army personnel down there was not released because they're from the army.
No.
They were released because they are members of the army, so members of the joint security.
Yeah, but they've been there before. That at the airport, how many people are there? They're not going there because of John Yakami.
I'm saying besides you have army personnel always at the airport. Like I say again, it is because of the intelligence the NSA receives. Most often, you have the presence of the military personnel around the world. At different airports, you see these things happen.
Yeah,
you go, you see army personnel there. At times, I wonder how those that call themselves politicians can understand the situation. So then, fine. George Weah had arrived. George Weah arrived. Why being greeted? The first thing you see George Weah arrived at the place is overwhelmed. Almost all of you representatives, senators want to go and show your loyalty to George Weah.
I'm telling you, bro.
You went overwhelmed the space there. At the time the plane Texas, there are other planes as well that need to use the runway.
Because he killed a private jet.
So the place the space have been overwhelmed. All right, fine, let's consider that. Then you have citizens that want to force their way back to go and meet George Weah at that place.
So man, you say end of terminal before.
You want to force your way back. Where in the world you see that happen? Then those of a leader that are with the CDC that should tell the people that this is not how it works. Where the ones are inciting the people.
McGill, Koji, Akaros Gray, they were the ones inciting.
They are the ones that understand that around the world, you can't see that thing to happen. Even the very countries you went to, like for instance, if George Weah was president at the time, you leave from here, you in Ghana, in different countries, what have the periods. Even if the time to work in front of
They're not happy in front of Gray when you married in France.
At the time George Weah was president, he left from Liberia and visit. Even the time George Weah was president, when George Weah arrived in Liberia, which I had the time to cover a lot of George Weah arrival in this country, when he was president, there was never a time that the airport authority, but they heard about rubber hands. Rubber hands were allowed citizens to go and overwhelm the airspace at that place. Then how is it now that because it's Joe Buckeye, then you think that everything will be that way? Buckeye,
because they want to take advantage now.
So when I listen to people do a comparison in terms of managing the security, well, there are not times in this country when we have elections already, when political activities are ongoing in this country, we had a situation where that poses serious security threat to the life of those of Joe Buckeye. When the president, when the former vice president, at the time, one of the leading figures, opposition figures in our elections, when you had the NSA went for it, released sensitive information of the president arrival and departure of the country. That had serious security implications.
Yeah, they said, oh, the man sick, the man going for medical treatment to Ghana. They publish it all around and they give it to their puppets all around.
Of course, the law that governs the airport says that these kinds of sensitive information cannot be released to the public without consent. It was the NSA again that managed the intelligence. At that time, some of us on radio, we said that the NSA was wrong.
It was wrong.
Again, they did it. It could be out of good faith. Because at the time, Buckeye, you had, if you wasn't the CCTV camera and video web, back, you will understand that at that time, you see when the president then, the lead opposition figure in the election was at the airport. There was no presence of any security officer aside from the airport security. There was no national, in terms of the national police or perhaps the joint security, none of them were at that place. For us to say the video was very important, if the NSA was sent the video directly to the Minister of Justice, confidential, but informing him that there's a new increased security presence because we are into elections, and we can have the main opposition figure vulnerable on the airport. There's no presence of security personnel. For some of us at the time on radio, that's from where it was from that point that we viewed the conversation. But we said that the fact that the NSA released the information altogether to the public, it was done for the wrong reasons. We condemn that. You want to sit here today and say that all of the time Georgia have used our airspace to our since after elections, all of the time that Georgia have used the airspace. When last time you have seen sensitive information about Georgia on the airport came out? The guys there have managed information the way it should be. So if Georgia has arrived in the country, understanding that there will be, like the way you guys already go and overwhelm the space. If you love Georgia at the time, Georgia had only 20,000 votes to win election in the country. If you love Georgia the way you're claimed, why you couldn't remember that force to get out 20,000 votes and go to Georgia?
I'm telling you.
If you love Georgia, the man go. We can't say. You didn't give vote to Georgia at the time.
You didn't won.
You didn't over 6,000 votes in Magibi. That 6,000 votes, then by now, Georgia will be looking for 14 more thousand votes.
Musa Benete, you are focused on your election.
Right? Georgia did only 16,000 votes for Nima. Even your district will provide that vote for Georgia.
No. But he
if
said
they are
no.
claiming that you have Georgia, that's what I said. Even we are up to this time, we are still that person that. I mean, the guys on those students in Georgia are one of those persons. Because Baka at this level, if I were Ben Georgia at this level, Baka, I will condemn what has happened at the airport. At the airport. And at that level, I will tell Sedition never, if you come to welcome me, which of course I accept, is that you still, when we go at the airport, there, Baka, at the entrance of the tree, our whole side, you can take that place. Right? You'll wait for order. We'll walk,
we'll come to you.
We are leader. Will walk council or perhaps to I call the turning point there where you can branch to come in. You can wait for all down there. When the convoy will stop there, we'll get on, we'll wave to you, we'll walk through. But you cannot come and overwhelm the space. And those are just left for my girl, you are the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs at the time of Georgia. When last you are Minister of State in this country, at Georgia arriving, you told Sedition to go and stay on the wrong way to wait for Georgia.
No.
When the last time you told citizens to go at the terminal, but the two terminals have both the old and the new, that space is very small. Even if we have said, okay, all of you come and enter this place, but there will have been destruction at that airport. Then who takes the blame?
Maggie, will not take a blame
because, for instance, at the old terminal, before you get it, you have the VIP space there, you have the other areas. You can't see this on a 10-4 and go on that broad. No, that be frank. Some of them men can then go everything all that thing. You tell them you can't even go for that place to overwhelm that space. The glass and the glass stuff, the video panels, everything. They will spoil it because they're already mad. I'm saying, they're already vexed. So what will happen is that when people are vexed, they lead to destruction. What will happen? They go down and some of the guys will willfully. Some of them will willfully destroy that place. Then who takes the blame? Then some of you sit there and you don't understand the conversation from that way. Was George Weah denied entering the country? Was the military personnel at the airport denied George Weah from entering the country? Or was George Weah prevented from entering the country? There were the conversations were been. If in an instance where George Weah was being prevented from entering Liberia, let's say, okay, the president said you shouldn't enter. Like the way at the time it happened to Ernest Bai Koroma, the former president of Sierra Leone. There were times that the government prevented him from entering the country, from using the airport altogether. Then that would have been a different conversation. But where are we? Georgia, a brilliant country. You was being welcomed. All of the protocol was being followed. What was said was that you cannot overwhelm this space. Stay out there. And this is a message for you, citizens. Liberia is not for CDC. Liberia is not for CDC. There's a government responsibility to provide a safe space for every Liberian. The same way you pledge your loyalty and your sense to one political institution, like you don't see the bigger picture of the country. That's the same way the government is under responsibility as well to protect the ordinary Liberians. I see you guys as ones that have swept your senses under the carpet. So there is a reason I will take it from there. The government is under responsibility as well. The government is under responsibility to provide a space equally for every Liberian. So now because you get one man that I don't know for what reason you pledge your loyalty to him over a country, that you're going the extra to destroy the country and destroy the peaceful coexistence that we enjoy in this country, because you think you want to satisfy one man that spent 6 years in power and he was satisfied that he was kicked out of authority. George was the only president in the world I've seen that lost election, and he was thankful that he lost election. So far, the only president, even Barack Obama served 2 terms as president, which of course the Constitution in America details that after 2 terms, you wait for the turnover authority. Even at that point, you will tell you today that I still wish that I had a chance to continue. Even Madam Salif that served 2 terms in this country, 12 unbroken years in this country as president. Today, if you were to have a conversation with Madam Salif, she will tell you that I still need a space to continue. George was the only person that served as a president, and when he was retired, when Liberians voted him, he was thankful that day. George Weah got on his knees and said, God, thank you. Because this is a man that reached a point that he was completely lost, and he was only acting with recommendations. Nowhere around the world you have president and acting with recommendations, then a country prosper. A president as well should be someone that have independent judgment. George Weah was never the president that had independent judgment. Then you said that if we want to try and face the country from where it was, then you think that thing you are there to put out that one way will perhaps disturb the peace of this country. Liberia has come a long way. You're doing it because of recent. You are saying Eddie Snow to carry one funny report at Breakfas. They went there to Breakfas. You tell the people that George Weah and the government are friendly, that the government after George Weah. Oh yes, why would Joe Bucker be after George Weah? This is the thing I want you to get right. Let's be fair. Let's balance this morning. George Weah served as president. Joe Bucker now is president of this country. Joe Bucker 6 years at the concluding state of Joe Bucker says that you'll be somewhere around 86, 85, 84, 85 years as a stand to be corrected. At that level, serving as the 26th president of this country, and will be retiring at the age of 85, 86 years, so to speak, or perhaps 80 plus years, because the last time I checked, Joe Bucker is 80 years, or perhaps 79, between 79 and 80, so that hold a constant at 79 years. So at the concluding stage of his 6th year, he will be 85 years. So literally in our politics, we have not produced an 85-year-old president before in Liberia. So Joe Bucker will be honorably retiring, which of course you will wish that the Liberian people honorably retire him. Similarly with what we did with Madam Salif. So at that level, Joe Bucker has nothing to lose. So then why will he go after George Weah? Why would Joe Bucker go after George Weah when he knows very well that after this election, he has no future in our politics again? Have you asked yourself that question? Those of you citizens that Akaras Gray orders to come and sell the kind of mess and disinformation to you, you believe it, that the old man after George Weah, ask them. Say after 2029, Joe Bucker will be about 85 years. This is a man that wants to retire honorably. So at that level, he has no fish to fry in our politics. He has no future in our politics anymore. Then why would he want to go after George Weah? What's the business? What's the rationale in the conversation then? But that's how they take the information to you. And you now, as a Liberian, you continue to see yourself as sedition. This is where my disappointment with you guys lies. You continue to see yourself as seditions. That after 6 years in this place, it was Barretts and Lappers you took home. Today we leave from this radio and we want to conduct a survey from the home of an Irish sedition. Not those that had the opportunity to work in government, but an Irish Liberian, those that workfully went on that fateful day in October 2017 and voted George Weah. If we were to do a survey today, the only thing we see in your rooms will be lappers of George Weah and Barretts. Nothing will see there for yourself. Some of you are children up to this time to speak. They are languishing on the streets and the ghettos. You don't want to have a conversation surrounding that. You said there in a lie, one man that after elections, even at the state of destitution, he left you in this country and had the time to go and recover and enjoy life in Europe. And now he retired and want to set a conversation out to you. Those so-called leaders he have on ground, those ones that cause the reason, those ones that of course, they are the reasons why you lost elections. Mm-hmm. When the seditions, the Irish sedition took upon their time. When there were sleepless nights you guys had at the party quarters, I had a time to cover CDC during the elections. And as late as 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, that party headquarters overwhelmed. It shows the people commitment, the people dedication to the party. And those leaders sat there after a party of 50 million budget. The last time I checked, across Africa, even in Nigeria, with over 127 million people. Tinubu now you 50 million budget to run election. Nigeria is the only country of 5.2 million persons, and you 50 million budget to run an election. Yeah, still you lose an election. Have you asked yourself what the leaders did with their money? They gave you Barry and
Thomas Farah went China to face other Barry. It will not take money or million to face other Barry and
the last time I checked during the coronavirus, when my friend President T1 were heading the coronavirus task force department, Bakai to face over 2 million marks in this country. Customary marks, where you have job, we have picture on it. They use 500,000 to face it. In China, they brought it. 2 million pieces of customary mark. Where you get job, we have picture, everything on it, Regin CDC, on the rope. They use 500,000 to do it. They don't have 50 million budget. They go get they get lapas and berets. Up to this time, you have to recover from that nonsense of which you did. And then you sit here, you allow some of our Carlos Gray to influence your thought, and you think a party is above a country.
Yeah,
nowhere around the world.
That's what it is, though. That's what it is.
Nowhere around the world. That's why, for instance, Bakai, you listen when the shooting incident, the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, when it happened over the weekend. Afterwards, what happened? Joe Biden told him that even though whether you love for Trump to be president of America or not, or whether I should be president, no one is bigger than this country.
Absolutely.
That no one should allow that loyalty to a political institution to cause them to cause a problem of disunity for the peace that we enjoy.
But that's what Carlos Gray is doing.
And Braga, when I listened to Joe Biden speak on the VOA, then I connected the situation in Liberia. I said, this is what our leaders have failed. That no matter what pattern we have, no one is above the state. It is the responsibility of the president to protect the state. And if there are instances, even at your party headquarters, listen, let me frame with you the aspects you get. If the government dictates that there are potential security threat or activities or initiative you have at that party headquarters that warrants the survivability of the state, the government is under a mandate to ensure that the taxes of that matter.
Yes, of course.
So don't do it. That's why the police has no boundary. So even you can be allowed your citizen headquarters Buckeye, 2 o'clock in the day, you have a meeting. If the government receives intelligence that the meeting you're having is tantamount to the state, they have the authority to put a halt to it.
And they can take all the from there.
Or I will know.
But you don't know.
You sit there, you think, listen. I understand Buckeye for ability. I listen to you when I'm on my way, when you provide analysis on why ability, everything he opposes, everything that the government will do, or whatever thing happen in the country, and he blames the government always. I understand Buckeye. What is carrying Benete is that Benete is having sleepless night. Benete is having uncontrollable memory. Benete is having uncontrollable memories, right? Sleepless nights and uncontrollable memory. Buckeye, I found the last time I said something, and I always go back to it. That wealth is not everything in life. A peace of mind is more than everything. Buckeye, you can have all of the wealth around you, but you don't have a peace of mind. You act and do things that at times people question what are you even. I mean, you know, what are you that person? Benete had the time to eat and to wine and dine with the president now. Joe Buckeye now is the president. Benete had the time to leverage that he wake up 2 a.m. and call perhaps Amos 12 or by then the party chairman Ludo Time and say tomorrow morning I won't see the paper, and it's possible.
Okay.
So at that
was
time,
the time in the coalition.
The coalition.
Okay.
So if a man that has such an opportunity mismanage such opportunity
because of greed,
abuse such an opportunity because of greed, because of at the time he felt his ego was everything. This is the same way he carries himself. That why he thinks, the way he feels is the right thing to be done.
Yeah.
So if a man of such had carried himself all through that long, and at the end time, his decision, his thoughts led him on the wrong way. Baka, even to this time, it worries him as well. Even to this time, Baka, he's better by that. So he found a way to get the president's attention. And listen, Mr. President, I'm your prodigal son. I'm your lost son. there's a need I come back to you.
But you think the president will listen to
There is
such
a
a
need,
character?
there is a need I come back to you because President Boakai have understood the conversation from a point that President Boakai is building the next generation of Liberian leaders.
Mhm.
That President Boakai is building the next generation of leaders in Liberia. That the foundation that the Boakai's administration is owned, or the foundation that the Boakai's administration is trading on, by the end of 2029, you will hire about 100 more persons that are capable to become senators, that are capable to become representatives, vice presidents in this country. So at that level, there will be no shortage of leaders. There will be no shortage of national leaders. That those that Joe Boakai is building will go beyond party leaders. The mistake and the difference between Joe Boakai and George Weah is that Boakai, after the success of George Weah built people that still they are party leader. That their decision, that their ideas stop just to party land. That decision, that ideas, everything do not exceed on no party land to go on the national scene. That's why Akara Grace for 12 years as a representative, he still behaves like a child. As 12 years, you ask him if you ever served in national position. At times you ask us if Akara Grace is that person for 12 years ago, we call them lawmakers. We gave them the authority, we gave them our constitution to interpret for us or to make laws for us for 12 years in this country. So like that, you have that's the difference. So Benedict have understood that it's this way, even though I want to go on the side of the CDC, Fonatier is pushing me on the side of the CDC. But what is happening is that at the end of 2029, if I can align myself with the United Party, there will still not be a space for me. Because what is happening now is that President Boakai is building leaders. President Boakai is building leaders that go beyond the party line. Boakai, imagine, have you asked yourself how Amos, for instance, has transitioned from just being a national secretary to a leader that's making informed decisions in the petroleum sector?
Yeah.
Have you asked yourself how, for instance, Warren Bryan has transformed from a party now, he's making decisions for the vast majority of all of the citizens in Monserrato and heading the local government in Monserrato? Have you asked yourself how possible has that happened in the space of 7 months?
Yeah, and the guys are not doing it on party land and the way the others were doing.
That's what I'm saying.
No. The guys are working in the interest of Liberia. Once you are given a position, like I can normally tell people here, when you are given a position, serve with due diligence. Forget about the that my party here and my this. Of course, that the party brought you to where you are today, but it's about the Liberian people. So the lack of Amos, the lack of can you imagine? I can tell people today, every day, when they say, when they may take over, they will start employing their people there. And the water is here up to now. More is yet to even employ a single person from his own political party. Up to now, and other people up to now, because the guys overwhelmingly flooded the various ministries and agencies that is stopping Harris. What they did was that when they lost the election, I think there is something that we need to do in the country. Harris, the time frame between the end of election and inauguration is too long. What am I saying? Because Harris, once the guys understand that they have lost election, that time frame, they take that time frame to flood the entire system with their supporters. And that was just what happened. At the end of 2023, when George Weah won, the minister lost the election, they took between November, December, and January to flood the entire payroll with social seditions. So now United Party have taken over the governance of our country, but yet to employ people is difficult because the payrolls are all flooded. That's why you see the CSA boss working overtime to get it clean. So if we will be here and people that are supposed to be benefiting from their political party are not benefiting, sometimes we get flag some of these things. We flag it out so the Liberian people can know what we're talking about. What's happening? What occurred? So seditions, Forget about the old my party. Once it's not my political leader, or it can be nobody. No, forget that thing, my brother. You have 6 years. You wasted those 6 years. The others are having their own 6 years. Please let them to do their ass in peace. Please. This country belongs to everybody. You're not more partisan or you're not more citizen of the country more than some of us. Not because we are sitting now on radio. You're not more citizen than anybody. We all have equal right over this country. The same right that you have, like the same right I'm having. The same right that you in the Union Party having, that's the same right that folks in CDC having. But they, my party. Yeah, let's go. Let's forget about it. Let's focus on the development of this country. You can be more loyal to somebody than your own self. For you, for some of you guys in the Union Party or CDC, you think that, oh, one Joe Baka eat, it mean that you don't want to finish eating.
Oh yeah.
One George we are eat, it mean that you don't want to finish eating. No, my brother. Some of us, we are way above that. Our focus is the development. Now, when we see people, some people try to stay on the way of development, will go all against you because we want this country to develop. We can be lacking behind. Others are talking about technology. We are still fighting on roads. Others are talking about building infrastructure, money. We are still talking about power, water. We are still talking about electricity. They have graduated from some of these things. But we are still stuck up there. And your minds and attitude are still getting us to where we are. The lawmakers in that Capitol building, they are the ones. When they were working in the interests of Liberia Harris, will not be where we are today.
Oh yes. Oh yes, of course. That's why you get you have a lawmaker, for instance, when the government is bringing, for instance, equipment to the country to help develop the road, the criticize and say the government are following the rest step. Well, if you have a group of appearance under a political umbrella calling at the country on the international airport to cause disturbances and welcome it, and blame the government for even deploying the presence of more security at that place. What would have happened if that place was left vulnerable and the CDC infiltrated that area and caused disturbances for other passengers that are dead as well? What would have happened? You're going to sit there and say again, the government did not do well in terms of security, right? But in the school, you take the blame when you're on the safe side to protect the image of the country, then to allow us, oh, we want people to blame us. And this is a good thing I've observed about the Joe Baka government. Baka, when the right thing is on the way, we will do it. Afterwards, let's take the bullets for the right thing. We know history tomorrow will remind us. When there are times in this country when our airports, when our airspace were vulnerable, when our airspace were vulnerable in this place, Baka. When our terminal and other places, people go when drugs or when that area drugs was being used, that place was being used as a transit point for drugs in this country and other things. That place was vulnerable. Or you think because the vulnerability of that place only says here, you think that's how you think this is the same way it was. When at the time you used to sit in short hints that used to be at that area, the airport director, and say, you come here, a lot of hope will be flooded, go post CDC banners and poster all on the airport. This is the only international airport we have that everyone that enter the space of Liberia airspace and leave the use the Breakfas International Airport. What you won't say? You see that place to be the spring-free area there, where on the airfield that you can go play with. But airport is an international standard. So if we are to maintain international standard at that airport, we must observe all of the rules and regulations. You won't say we go to space. We get several international flights that use that area.
When they were in power, my man, plane used to be in the air, no current.
But I'm saying
on the airport, so that like because they want to go destroy the place.
The vulnerability of that area.
Yeah, but that will be the plane.
The airport authority for
went out of current.
Went out of current. There's no current on the runway.
On the runway,
there's no plane to Texas.
Yeah.
So it's happy. This will be a U-turn. There are times in the country, the plane, you know how to go Ghana or
Sierra Leone.
I'm just go and land there.
Yeah.
Then you say that today, so they still have the memory of the way the airport was vulnerable. That at any point in time, there were times in the even ministers will be coming. They used to carry human being and go welcome them. Ministers will be coming in the country. You carry battle cries and everything. So you say this way, it should not be like that and everything. Listen, this way, the president has a blueprint about the way he wants to run this country. What that is needed, that will say on this radio, if officials of the CDC were being prevented from entering at the port, at the airport, that would have been a different conversation. Again, for you officials, if you had a time to enter, and then you see that place to be the community buyer, you can just wake up, you go 5 minutes, stay, you come back 5 minutes, you just use the space anyhow. That's not the way. When you're being lost in, you wait. That's why the airport there, you have the VIP.
Yeah.
When you enter in the old terminal, they have the VIP. So what will happen? Because you come, to wait for George, you go, you sit in the VIP there, you're gonna be there. That's where that's where you guys were. Until George, when the plane, when there was a signal at Georgia, is already in the space, and the plane was taxiing, you go and stay at that place. The formal ceremony, when he comes down, you welcome him, and that's been cool. Imagine George welcoming. You have Abu Bana Kamara. Over 50 person behind you.
They want to enter.
You get over 50 person behind you.
Yeah.
You get George Weah coming. First, I forgot carry decision number 9 for George Weah return to Liberia. They were there. Then, Broker, what sense I was saying?
So they couldn't wait to the party headquarters.
Is that a hostile?
Okay, send Joey in the country now. What will that benefited?
So
why he brought for us?
So listen, George Weah convoy, he passed. Then all of this, those persons took over at the airport, put a riding killer being boss. They behind you, I don't know if they reach in time or whatever the case. If that was it, if you say there's leader you care for, he cares for the people as well. And after 7 months since election, he left the country and he's returning. What you do is that all the partisans at the party headquarters, every leader will, no matter the time you arrive, you arrive in country, how tired you are, you go and greet the people. Then I drive from the airport and go at CDC headquarters and go and greet citizens at that place.
Yeah.
Then the mayor will know why he was away. You organize people for him. But taking Liberians and taking seditions and care.
Yeah, but man, you said you can blame the man. Because if you are vulnerable and people just using you every day, that's what happened. Harry, me, somebody from Unipark can tell me say, "Mela go to airport because somebody coming." That's what I'm saying. Let me just start with Unipark. Somebody from Unipark can tell me say, "Bagala go to airport because Joe Baga coming," or "Bagala go to airport because Joe Ya coming." Let's go to airport because Kumi's coming. Me, a sensible man like me, what am I going to do there? What will carry me there? But when you are less busy and don't have anything to do, but go check on your party headquarters, they have they're vulnerable, doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So that's why I'm making people to use them every day and night. If you have no future, that's just what happened.
No, but that's just it. That's just it. If there is no future, you don't think anything. You don't think outside the box. At times, you go in other countries and you see how citizens are how citizens of that country are managing. Then you can Liberia instead do the same thing. Then it worries us as well, Buckeye. And then what we are. So we said for the record, listen, if there are 100 times George Weah leave the country to travel and return, and you're carrying such a people on the airport, will be 100 times will deploy the state. We will sit on this radio and inform the Minister of Justice that will understand the chain of command. That what happened is that the NSA is on a responsibility as always to inform you, Minister of Justice, that the arrival of the former president and how the airport space has been overwhelmed, it poses security threat to the country and to the presence of several other private citizens as well, and passengers, whether foreign or national citizens. So what is required is that the government is on a responsibility to increase security presence at that point, at that airport. So when security presence be increased, there's no problem with that. So you all listen, they tell the country enough for you. So when the NSA inform the Minister of Justice, or if there's a need for increased security presence at that place, when there's an increased security presence at that place, and the information is being communicated to the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Justice uses discretion. Perhaps you call Gregory, come and say, Gregory, I think you need to employ. I'm saying you need to deploy more men at the airport. Again, the Justice Minister can use the discretion and say, let's use the joint security, and the joint security, it constitutes all of the forces that make up the security sector of our country. You have the Liberian National Police, you have the military, you have the paramilitary, and everyone make up that force. So you think you're going to sit here and say, listen, Brakai, let me tell you something. That Akaras Gray and others, Akaras Gray, Frank Safoko, have you asked yourself, even Frank Safoko and the speaker have had fundamental disagreements? The fundamental disagreement is not that Foko preaching any logic. The fundamental disagreement is that they have discussion and they direct it. They speak the agenda of the speaker. When they get at the house, the speaker thinks otherwise. So at that level, they have fundamental disagreement. So, for instance, a practical example I'll give you this morning. When Foko had a disagreement with the speaker of the retreat at Farmington, the reason Foko had a fundamental disagreement was because the party had met at the party caucus, because they had CDC legislative caucus, who the speaker is part of, and Magio is the chairman. They have met and said, since the senator had already gone for their retreat, and we, the representative, contemplating, let the speaker delay this process, then we will come and be vocal and say, oh, the executive have given the space for the senator to go for retreat, and the lawmakers have been prevented from going for retreat, or the representatives have been prevented for going for retreat. Then they will have used that as well negatively on the image of the government, thinking that the president favoring only the upper house and forgetting about the lower house. That was a conversation at the level of the party. So when they reached the decision, the speaker opened it up and said, we're going for our international partners. It was that day you wasted the outburst and the kind of character exhibited by Frank Safoko. So at that level, there are fundamental disagreements. That the speaker is seeing a bigger picture. That why is true, every one of us is thinking of 2029. There are 5 years, 5 months to 2029 as we speak. As of today's date, there are 5 years, 5 months, some days to 2029. We cannot sit here and think that we can use our arrogance to arrive at 2029. There are better ways, there are better approaches, and there are better practical steps we need to take other than using our arrogance. So that we cannot side on that basis. So when the conversation is there, and every time, when folk are using the radical means, so to speak, at the house, and they are not finding their way through, because we have to meet majority. This is not about unanimous decision. It's a decision I have to meet the majority. So at that level, Brakai, things are not working. This is not a place where a woman thinks about a situation and you find a way through. But it is still finding it difficult from that angle as well. That this is a house where democracy prevails. That no matter how you think an idea is best, it has to be voted, it has to be debated, and it has to be agreed by a majority of this stuff. So at that level, you have a lot of us. They're not talking. But the thing in pick up petrol, you want to see a lot of them, they don't really participate because they believe that 60% of the participation on the floor is meant just to disturb the space. So they're not forming a part of it. So Baka at that level, folk they're not finding a way through. Now, Akara Grace on the other hand, as opposition needed to come up with the debate substantial. But he sat on radio and use the airway without evidence. There is no evidence as well. So at that level, a debate is dead upon arrival. At times, you have just the quarters that have the limited information still able to counter him. In last appearance on radio, you saw how you were dealt with. Because you cannot continue to use a space to provide mis and disinformation to the people. The appearance is this, what we're doing is that information is flowing every day. Thankfully, we have such a platform that will provide the people the information. So at that level, you cannot say from the comfort of your home, you think that you can just manipulate the minds of the people. Some 10, 15 years back, that's how you guys used to way through. Today, it's not possible. It's not possible. So at that level, the guys are already dissatisfied. They are already, so the only thing they think of now as a party is to engage in the violence. That thing they did at Apple Bucker, it was calculated. It was calculated. This is the first try. This is the first try. Now, the conversation that will follow, if the government will buy into it, if the government would take exception to it, or perhaps the Minister of Information, who is the official mouthpiece of the government, will go at that area, at the Minister of Information, whatever space, or any government official, and want to latches the security personnel for doing due diligence at the port and at the airport will be used by sedition to even do more than what they have done. Trust me, Tony Buckeye.
Sure.
But there is no space for that. Listen, we welcome the security stance. The good thing about it that no one was hurt. The good thing about it that no one was hurt.
They quit the wrong way.
Oh yeah, they see the good thing about it, no one was beaten. The security manages the situation at that place. It was perfect. It was perfect. So it is resting on you, government officials. So if you not get another thing, if you think you want to favor your friends in opposition, and you go and want to blast the security personnel for the job, they did very excellent, Buckeye. They managed that situation. I was looking through all of the videos I watched, all of the photos that came out. Not a single sedition was beaten. Not a single sedition was hurt. It tells you that how our security personnel have improved over the time. So at this level, imagine the security, the police the police inspector general there. They were booing.
Man. Yeah.
And you saw Gregory how it was entertaining for Gregory. Gregory was entertaining and man, that part of the video, it made my satisfaction. When Gregory was at that place and he was being booed, Gregory was laughing because it tells him that this is the kind of democracy in America where security personnel go for the safety of protesters. They will be throwing missiles and everything at the security personnel. And at that space, you'll find a very peaceful environment. That's the same kind of style Gregory managed. That's the same style Gregory managed at that place. So at that level now, you see how the conversation went. So there was nothing to wrong with it. So the only thing they say, they stop out for example going on the terminal. So as where there is a law at that place that say that partisans supposed to go on the terminal to go receive protocol leader. Where the law that says so. But even at the time of the inauguration, that we have all of the forces, all of the dignitaries arrived in the country, even the EFFL of Emmanuel Gonkwe, at the time that Judah Malema arrived in the country, aside from the party official, the EFF party official that wanted to receive Malema, the rest of the other EFF member was outside. They voted for Judah Malema. When Judah Malema got outside, and that's how he greeted the group and everything. That's how it's supposed to be. CDC is not law and gospel. CDC is not over nobody in the country. For those of you that have sold your ideas, your brain, and everything to CDC, whether that, thank God for you. Say thanks, right? Because that's how the Constitution says we should give you space to make decisions. So you make decision. You say me, the one we go, we take to the Pledge of Allegiance to the country. Now you guys should rewrite the Pledge of Allegiance
to the party.
So we say we pledge our allegiance to CDC. I know that has been. We pledge our allegiance to CDC. So let's see. Let's recite the pledge our way. Because it said we pledge our allegiance to the flag of Liberia and for the republic
of which it
stands. It doesn't say we pledge our allegiance to a political institution, and for a George Weah as a standard bearer for which it stands. That after George Weah, the party will fall. No, that's not it. So if you think you want to say that way and think you can run the country, listen. I listen to Gray a lot of time, Buckeye, and the folks from the CDC. The guys want to dictate to the president how the country should be run. This is the nonsense of it. They want to sit and dictate. Buckeye, they sit from the comfort of their homes and want to dictate to the president how the country should be run. How the president, for instance, how the president should direct the running of the executive.
Yeah.
Who does that? Where around the world is it happening? Opposition has no business in the governance structure of the country. What all opposition will do, they make recommendation to government. And it is the responsibility of the government to accept a recommendation or not. That's why the Constitution provides for 6 years. After 6 years, we go back for elections. If you think you have all of the brilliant ideas now as an opposition and you make recommendation to the government, if the government is not accepting a recommendation, sit back and wait for 2029. That's perfect.
Yeah. Just wait back. But the many things say 6 years, that's 6 months.
The Constitution never said that the government is not responsibility if your opposition figure that the government should accept what you think. So you say, listen, President Barker, you know what we'll do? that allow everyone, anytime George Weah coming, all Liberians should go on the airport to go receive George Weah.
Because we are
Then the government open up.
because we are opposition.
Then when the government open up space, you know what happened? The day for recent a baka get small money to in your community, the day a person coming, he put people on bus, take them to the airport. Then there is a government responsibility. Because the government already set that precedent. Then we allow. So coming out here, 1% to now, 1% people in Canada airport. Then open the space.
Conglo.
Then open the space. So coming 1% of people too, they come in country, 1% people, everybody will get on bus, go on, open the space. Then everybody go there. So they will run around to tourists or Benu Kroma, Appleton there, Appleton 7 or 5% people too will kind of open the airspace. Now how will be doing? So whether it coincides with the president or other dignitary in the country, we don't care. Then people take. Then others will take a photo and say, "This is how like bro airport is flooded every time when a political figure is coming. The airport is overwhelmed. What other person now? Then you will see very opposition figure and start to run away. But I'm saying we run information now. The government know how to manage the space. Imagine CDC telling the United Party know how to manage governance, bro. No, it was a laughter. You know, I like for instance, your father. Maybe your father had a time. Usually a capital building. So maybe when they won't find that he's saying there for maybe 1 week to go spend capital building, come back. So some of you know what? The whole office, I don't know. I don't really know if you know that about that office building. The men have been managing that office for a long time.
Yeah.
When they get you opportunity to go and see there, you come back now, you think you law and gospel. But God, this is not a country for it. That pure is a country of rule of law. It's either you are bad. Listen, sell them rent, sell them free. Free time is free. So what will happen is that maybe the CDC can take the whole party, go and redesign, you know, since you feel that no space or here in Liberia, that the government is not providing protection, you all go out and say no government. You can buy land there, you pay one part of the there, and be there in the meantime. When a person 2029 they'll come by in Liberia, we'll say welcome there.
I mean, let's go to the phone line this morning.
No, I'm telling you something serious about guy. Send that's the space because unless he, I mean, imagine. I can't go say he left is threatening. You get Princeton that is harmless.
A gray.
Princeton that is harmless.
A gray.
Princeton that is harmless. 12 years. You made over 8,000 in this country for over 12 years. You have Princeton who is surviving on printing. That only election time Princeton used to make money in the country.
To print
because you know run election or July 26th.
They may flog you massively.
July 26th or perhaps because Christmas time people can print t-shirt for Christmas. Now July 26th people can print t-shirt.
I tell you.
Now when July 26th print is a make money.
Every July
26th print is a make money.
Every election.
They made that I was harmless. Financially Princeton were harmless. I mean physically Princeton were harmless. It took a man of Princeton to defeat you. Then you will say so after you. What
happened to Grainer? They make you moving from radio station to radio station. The guy is angry. The men are when you're real angry loser. Like Carlos Green. The brother angry. Hey, I don't think nobody angry for the CDC called the Gray.
What I learned is that the man, you know, this is called a man. This is called a man a general.
The general. Once of it,
send us a bit. Not just take it go, but take a slip up for your phone. They say, you know, looking that the CDC sent Gray. I'm saying Gray the front line. When Gray reached on the front line, his minute was to defend George Weah.
Yeah.
But Princeton, he was defeated on a battle while he defended George Weah. Not just stopping there. Then even a backyard to a mean space again, he was defeated. So it's like he won the battlefield, he was beating, a gun was taken from him, and they took a slip up. Right? Then the same about the master, he said, go back, go tell the master that they want to eat from him. So same great return, they take the generation from him. So now they play a rich burger. They make party the reclaim.
All right, so yeah.
But they got a root beginning in the party, and I can call them general again. Because the man says, it can be general, okay, Joe, we are not weak. Then you let Joshua again, you're not weak. Then the worst of all is that a harmless Prince tools.
Winning you.
Harmless, financially Prince tools were harmless. There are other people in this country, there are a lot of politicians in this country. They are harmful financially because they have the cash.
They are harmful financially.
But Prince told no other person, Over the last 3 years, Princeton has some kind of black card. Our Princeton managing with brother. The last 3 years when we grew up in Paris, I'm saying
Getting married in Paris.
Paris, getting married. Princeton was checking his visa to see the last 2 years in travel. That's such a man that defeat great brother.
The thing that
So that's a desperation in great.
the thing that
Great not there because Joe Biden, because great no here. Great no point in terms of policy. Great compare Georgia and Joe Biden in terms of decision making. And over the last 6 years, George will function based on recommendation. So when maybe in the morning, when Margaret recommended George, he acts. When Samuel Tour recommended to George, he acted. When Eugene Nangme recommended to George, he acted. That's how George ran this country for 6 years. Thankfully, our country did not fall into the hands of into the hands of terrorists or whatever. Because if the guys were saying, let's say the entire army and to Boko Haram, Georgia are willing to settle for that. Because Georgia was functioning based on recommendation. Thankfully, our country now we have the president is independent. As president in this country, I want to say the politics this way. Over the last 6 years, George Weah as president in this country, all of the meetings that George Weah had of his cabinet, you don't see George Weah sitting with a pen or a sheet before him. No book. They over just in the space of 7 all cabinet meetings, you saw the president taking notes. The president when having a cabinet meeting, even when people see the president be a terrorist. The president, you see President Baka with his pen and a note. It tells you that Baka is acting based on the conversation you have and the recommendation that come from there. He's jotting down notes. He's jotting down notes, and when he said he makes an independent judgment on what people meeting today and said about him. When the university association, the president went to the university, right? Both the students, the faculty, and everything. Baka. At that meeting, you could see the president with his pen. And as the conversation was going along, the grievances from both sides, the president was jotting down notes. What that note tells you is that when the president is at his leisure time, he makes independent judgment on the different conversation he listened to today. But George Weah, the man should relax because he lacks the will to make independent judgment. Is this the same president now? I think you guys were killing George Weah now since you're in your position. Now George Weah win. After 6 years, he tested power. Waka he returned to opposition life. You know what the citizens should do at this time? To set George Weah down, probably you already go there and see how the plane looking. That plane to where they be there. Now you not see it. So where all your problem was, they put it that way, right? They put it in the simple English. But all you have problem here. Then George Weah said, the meeting have problem, brother, to say that I made decision. So it's okay, no one would teach you the way. What else again? He said, I just woke up in the morning, my heart just do something. He said, no, they want a country, and how is it be? That do it the way. Then that you pass the man. So when the man returned in 2029, Waka, you'll be informed. The last time I read into the history of Liberia, Joseph Dinirao, the best time that Joseph Dinirao performed was in his second term. The first time as president, a lot of plan that Joseph Dinirao had. After he was taken over, when he returned, he performed. Was in this country. It tells you that because, but then he went and reconsolidated, he realized his mistake and come back. But George, you are not ready yet, brother. The country, George, you are not ready yet. And George will be that one, not 2029. There will be no reason why Liberians will point out. I'm going to come back in this place.
All right. So we will open the phone lines from 9 up until 9 o'clock. We take your calls at 077 for the men 0778 665 699 0778 665 699 or 0880 561 644 0880 561 644. The women 0776 549122 for the ladies. 077 654 9122 for the ladies. The men can call on 0778 665 699 0778 665 699 or 0880 561 644. Let's go to the phone line. Take our first caller here. Good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother in studio there.
Yeah.
Good morning to the colleague also.
Your name, where you joining us from?
My name is Jeffrey Bala and I join you from Brownsville, New Israel.
Okay, welcome, Jeffrey.
Thank you. You know, the analysis made on the various unfolding issues or topic in our country, they are very, very, very much important that we look at them. It's I don't know what have the current government done to the airport manager, but I seriously think that was due to some management error.
Mm.
The last time I went to the airport to take one of my close friends while he was leaving, I parked my car right in front of the terminal. And I could see something like 10 to 5 minutes. This guy came with a piece of stick in his hand, pumping on the tire and asking who is the owner of this vehicle? Who is the owner of the vehicle? I think there were 3 other vehicles parked there. Please remove the vehicle, take it down there. Please remove the vehicle, take it down there. Now you know that these people have come to welcome a particular person, and they are in numbers. That place is the country's biggest business place.
Mm-hmm.
We have strangers coming in and going out. Investors are coming and going. Tourists are coming. They are coming to see and then go back to decide what they can do here.
Yeah.
And then you have these kind of people coming to in bunch, coming to welcome an individual. What you do is manage the system. You have all the rights to relocate those people and confine them to a particular place until their guests can reach to them.
Mm-hmm.
The airport manager failed to do that, and these guys fluttering in front of the terminal there, embarrassing other people, peaceful citizens and visitors as well. Then I think he's responsible.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in 0778-665-699 or 080561644. The ladies can call me on 0776-549122. For women, 0776-549122. Let's take this person. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Emmanuel Johnson, and I'm calling you from the Duboro Belt.
Mr. Johnson, welcome. Take 1 minute quickly.
Thank you. You know, if I was former President Weah, I would keep silent and wait, and they will look to see how the government will run. Any small error the government made, I will write it down. Then 2029, then the people will embrace me. But what the Akara Gray and everything coach they're doing, they're driving the people away from every day. Every day they're driving the people away from him because their actions will make the people would never even vote. So we are.
Yeah, but they did this for 6 years, and election came. They lost the election. I don't know why they keep being on the same path.
You see, that little Lenny is very dangerous.
Mm.
Yeah, Lenny is very dangerous. How about Abba went to the new earlier and he said, "You got a law student. I'm a lawyer. Nothing. I know you are educated. You know, an educated person don't talk. They react. They act, but they don't just talk. But you were just me about go on. All kind of things. And then radio liberty, because they have nothing good to say about the nation here. So I don't know how they want for the country to be like the country will go down the drain. The country will go down the drain. Every day the country look like they're on the airport and they go in there to the step so that the people will see it and say, no, Liberia is not safe. What kind of country is this? What's wrong with Akara Grade there? I wonder if they can take in something before they can go to that area there.
Yes,
they can build up something. I think they can take something in. Because some person will never behave like that. But you don't follow those guys or listening to me, she better pay attention and don't follow Akara's Gray and Jonathan 40 advice. I want to put a Solomon and his son called all the old people and said, look, how you want me to run this country? They told him, say, your father was doing that, your father was doing that. But then if you do it this way and you do it that way, the people will like you. He said, okay, you give me 3 days. Let me call my young people. You call the young people say, you know, old people, they got problem. What you do? Put every law on the head. He didn't stay long, his country was divided. You know, so he shouldn't just pay attention to Akara grade. I don't know what kind of grade that. Akara grade. I know that grade or that something. The one day he will be on radio, I will call. The one I will get it will not be easy.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in and making your contribution 0778 665 Let's take somebody from this other line here quickly. Good morning.
Good morning. Breakfas. This is the Vera Joy of this.
Welcome.
You know, I listened to the night this morning. Look, there's a guy who talking about violation of the Constitution, but this guy left us at the university campus. This is great when you are lawmaker, he left us at the university campus. Young people were beaten. There is a very same guy I said people are sorry today, but got married in Paris. There is a guy who arrived 90,000 cars, lawmaker. This are not great. We normally sometimes we can be the Marisha Parliament. You know, normally they can say the Marisha. That's their CDC. You know that I want to era to CDC. That are CDC era. You go there, they do that. But one thing I want for sedition to know, they country will not be meditating rights the way it was the last 6 years. We are running responsible government, and this government is in the interest of the people. You like it, you can go and carry fire airport to the airport to project George Weah that the library people are against Breakfas, that the people still want you. So Breakfas or Comrade Breakfas, what is sense it made for Emile Mangi, who was sanctioned, Akagri, Kochi, Alonso Hawane, Abu Bakar Bane, to go project George Weah, the coordinator said masses. What be massive? They only say you are angry because you were a safety minister, you were minister, you were lawmaker, and you not get a position again. You're not a massive. The masses are people who sell it in the market. The people at Banana are selling to go to the airport. No. You were there. You who lost your position, you who stay one get power where they want the airport. So you coming to say, America Carrasco posted on Facebook say the masses were at the airport and the security investigated them for entering the terminal. Why you going to the terminal? We were here when President Breakfas was coming from the US. We went to that airport. We stood right outside President Breakfas, called us. All bosses who came. Why would not want to enter the terminal?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
But the really thing that this country is just a country where many a car greener who were lawmakers for 6 years. They were doing all kind of things around here. They think how they come to run. No, we will run this country responsibly. If you're angry, you can go Guinea. I think Guinea, the constitution is suspended. You can go be there when the down you come back. Thank you for the time.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let's take another person here. Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you, brother. Good morning. Good morning to your co-host.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for the. My name is Hussein. I am Hussein Kewu, and I talk around this in Jacob. But thank you for the energy, the effort you guys that you know, the issue of grade for some of them will not be relevant because they are attention seekers. They want people to look at them, you know, as stakeholders. But you know, this country, you know, say, and let the code say, it's not about future elections, but future generations. Now, people think that this country should just be the normal way it used to be. That you just do things out of the law, you don't respect the law, you just do anything anyhow. That's not the responsible government. What a responsible government would do is to follow the rule of law. And this is what the government is doing. Unless in the last 6 years, great, you have more, they create. The Koti, the Sunday Babe, the Mamasi Kabas, the Abu Bakar Ba, and the rest of the other folks here. You have more to talk about issues. You don't have that more because you were here in the last 6 years. Everything that was in this country was okay. We're in the president. We have so many laws. You were here marching for you. You were walking past the thing. They took it and national security. To talk by anything here. They pass them up already because you want to get attention. But let me say this to you. The president will say this continuously, I love this. It's not about future election, but future generation. President Baka is on the path of developing a country. You don't have to live in luxury. You don't have to live your life. He said, we want to choose the country, we want to choose it. It should be business as usual. And definitely, my dear brother, so you guys shouldn't get look at it because when you listen to really, you discuss it, oh yeah, we don't want to make it home. So don't get attention. Talk about developmental part. About strat the government's making. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't get that kind of attention.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in 0778 665 699. Let's take another person here quickly. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you, Baga and Harris.
Oh,
this is Fabian Do from Every Single.
Fabian, welcome. From there, we'll take our guy from Europe. Welcome. Your life will up, Fabian.
Yeah, Baga, you talk about, oh, yeah, la Prince, oh, Nigeria, la peaceful man. This joy, we are love, glorification. Both of those things can be orchestrated, can be covered now by you see the law. That's why him playing football at that level, need glorification. So at the president, he still need glorification. So the only thing is the government need to do, except for the Apple money as the Apple said. For every time when Joy are coming in for 1 billion time, let it be outside and then they can receive it from outside. Now the whole so that I want 10 million to scare other people away. We sat here for 6 years, now did nothing for the country. We do they put under poverty and you tell us the market. Who the market? There's Cacao Gray market, Coachy market. You can't look at man and you read a market or market to Fiamma market and talking about Coachy.
All right. Let's cross over to our guy from Europe quickly to take him. Let's go online. Good morning. Welcome. Douglas.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Hello?
Hello, you getting me? Hello? Good morning. No, I don't know what's happening. You have to call back at 0778 665 699. Let's see if you can take him on this line. Good morning. Good morning. Let's take him like this. Yeah, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Douglas.
Thank you. Guys within the country, they think that when they are not in power, so the entire country must go blind, you know. So that because they are you know, political parties in the country should look at the interests of the people. When coming to power, it should wait. Because these guys been having a big gathering for 6 years. They did not use anything. You know, those gatherings, the people that go to see you in those gatherings it's not sure that they vote for you. So they don't know the minds of the liberal people, great and other things that militancy can the country. I think this is the reason that they are the fooling George Weah. They want to eat this money. They think that when they talk about going to the airport, they can put men together so they can give them money and they will eat some money. I think what they've been doing. But I think the CDC believe in being in opposition. They will be in opposition for another 12 years again. Watch it.
Okay.
Because what I'm seeing, they'll be in opposition for another 12 years. Thank you for the program.
Thank you so much for calling in. Another 12 years. Let's take this person. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, my brother. How's the morning with you?
Good. You might join us.
Yeah, this is. I'm calling you. Yeah, I just want to let the Liberian people to understand something this morning. Why would they look at someone who tried to squander their country and then
yielding this person like Jesus Christ. A man who were in the system that went and took money from all of these business people that squanderized the salary of workers. It's a here. This man who took money from this you talk about that who the second brother a company to feed this country. Took money from this man to run his election that cost other people that were working with the company bear the consequences. The point that he said he was not going to pay until he can see as to whether he would get his money back. Other people sat down there and they suffer the consequences. It's this man you are still yelling. A man who look at the Decent Wealth Act that he made. Whatever you produce it or you make, it should be added to your salary and cut out from it. People working with this company now, cause this brother, they are overtime money that is supposed to be handled rep by rep. This money is being added to their salary and that is cutted from it. And now they are not benefiting nothing. It's this man that you are still here yearly while we are looking up to Jesus Burger at least to see if whether he will come to try to bring in some transformation, and we are here yelling and George, we are to take our money and go buy $1 million car for woman in Ghana. This man is the one you are yelling.
Okay.
I'm sorry for Liberians, man.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. We take some more calls. 077-866-5699 or 080-56-1644. Let's take this person on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Your name, where joining us from?
G. Edison Moses is my name, calling the Rand District 11.
Welcome, Moses.
Yeah, it is my pleasure to hear from you guys this morning, and I'm forever grateful for the topic on the discussion. You guys are making some significant points. What I want to tell the citizen is that even if they say election is tomorrow, when they come, they will say, with that district. Because what I expect for the President Manuel himself to be doing is, they see criminals that are pushing. They see criminals that are, controlling him. When they say do this, and then he listen to their pieces of advice that put him man today. He said, listen to this man. The color gray, I don't know whether that's gray or gray. He said, anger in him. The people trust you to pay their trust in you. And at the end of the day, you are not able to do what they were expecting you to do. And they use for power. And because of that, you are angry, going from place to place, giving suitable information, deceiving yourself, deceiving people. But I think that anger will be because looking at what the people doing, the thing that they were not able to do within the first years, the people trying to do just within 7 months time, and they are there criticizing. They can't say that to realize their mistake and say when it comes to politics, what you supposed to do in the interest of the citizen.
Okay.
So I think the anger will be for let's say 18 years because the participants there will end. Another government will come to say it was 12 years. But after the 12 years,
but the man said coming for 6 more years now. Right after Joe Parker, I didn't want to come.
Yeah, that is come. When they come, the 3 hours will be in there. And I'm just assuring that there is no place for them because the water is before.
Okay.
The reason why they criticize the party, they say that the way the country was free, everybody was doing their own thing. They think that the country will be. No, the party is mature enough.
All right.
It's mature indeed.
All right. Thank you so much. 0778 665699. It is let's take this person. Good morning, welcome. I'm doing pretty well. Your name is joining us.
Thank you. My name is.
Yeah, Christian, go ahead. You are low.
Yes, brother. Thank you for the show. Actually, people wasting their time and then calling for actually they don't love Joe, and they love. Because let me tell you, my brother, we are already retired, Joe. We already retired as our grade. And that people, so that's people, the same people that used to complete auto, just auto together, and then when they get them money to eat it, I can't even say young people. We the young people, you just got a man to say that you can't able to do nothing for yourself, that you want to live with it. So for that reason, people just can't fool you, do something, just for anything. So actually, I want to say thank you for the show. Just know that your way is already retired, and I think he made a mistake. Certainly that way he said before 2039 you're going to leave politics. 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So thank God, yeah. So you already retired, brother.
Thank you so much for calling in. We can take like 3 to 4 more calls, then we transition to our next talking point. 0778-665-699 or 080-561-644. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
Doing pretty well.
Yeah, my name is Koma Moyala, and I call you from Tiboro Junction.
Welcome, Koma.
Yeah. You know, the topic of discussion is very unique, and what I want to say is that CDC has taken a rightful position, and their position is opposition. You know, they always perform in opposition than when you give them the position. We look at the past 6 years when you give them the position, what they did here, they carry the country backward. The less of Koji, he was sitting there, he said, you know, don't buy you. The city was filthy, that were all over. Now see the city, look at Yedebe Junction. You know, the evidence is showing the Liberian people are not stupid. We know what we want. I'm just so sorry for young people who are using day and night putting bear on their heads, you know. It's so sad for our country that they can use our young people instead of, you know, impacting their life. And they have to read between the lines. We, the young people come here, we need to read between the lines. These people are only ourselves. They are self people. The only one job we have to come to mountains. There. So they are only people to do their evil acts and also to steal the Liberian people more. And you need to open your eyes. We need to be wise. President Baga has just come in power for just six months. People see the good things he's doing. And for the machines issue also, Musa Belede is also high court against the machine because that's how you won election in Lima County. So when I allow the machine to come, we know all of these things. You can any lawmaker put stop to it. Just know that your re-election is at risk.
Okay.
Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We take 3 more calls, then we transition to our next talking point. 0778 665 699. Let's go back to the phone line caller. Good morning, welcome.
Thank you. Tupakai, how do you do?
I'm doing pretty well. Your name, where you joining us from?
My name is Newton George Topa. I'm calling from my usual residence in the Tuporo region.
Okay, Mr. Topa, welcome.
Thank you. Let me firstly say thank you to you and your colleague in studio for the explicit deliberation. Really, Bagai, for us, we are not what we are and his boys are doing. We are clear. We gave you 6 years, you came here, you did nothing. You were just of our country. Then you think we'll ever trust you? We can trust you. As Green and that of his colleague in McGill, we know what they did in the country. We gave them 6 years. They did nothing. They were just passing around, blowing battle cry all over, passing around, acting that they were, I don't know, my boy, what have you. You sat down, we gave you years to prove yourself as a leader in District 8. You couldn't do anything. Only to pass around all day, flying around from one country to another country, say you be ball. And now they have taken you from power. You think you want to prove what thing? You can't prove anything. All we can tell them is that they have to hope for a better future because they have no more future now. They just start hoping. Their government will succeed. And their first 6 years of success will give them another 12 years. We are very clear of that. So the only hearing opposition part is clear. They will stay on inside. The only reason why you see another green, other people fighting hard, with their propaganda going to the poll and doing what have you. They just want to use we are as a means of coming back to power. And the reason why he lost the election at the time, and we are going for a runoff, he was fighting hard for we have to win because he said when you get out of the ministerial position, what have you. But unfortunately,
You didn't make it. Then you one coming saying as a single citizen to beat a ruling party like it's succeeding every day. It's succeeding. Yellow machine, I talk about 419 yellow machine. They are seeing it. They are here. All right. Celebrate on time when it comes to civil serving. Okay. Things have been just in the past 6 years. Things have been adjusted gradually. So in the next 2 years, you know what's going to happen for this country? My brother, economic boom. Okay. But you know just how they led their government, their leadership. They were there, dining and whining with Madame Salih, you know, and Madame Salih were giving them the 4 advice and what have you. So they wanted Papi to wine and down with them. And the old man is a wise man.
Okay.
On that time, also the even their dominant gods all we are.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take our last call here on this line. Good morning. Welcome. You're live for this morning.
Thank you, Chief. And let's say good morning to your coaches and other people. This is about the Kwewu would uncover in a journey-based conversation from District 3 head by educators, Moko Modera. Thank you so much for the talking point. And I followed the discussion this morning on my way to school. You see, let's be clear. And I think our president needs to get out this diplomatic share to put his feet down to the ground. Because this group of elements that we have in this country called sedition, these people are agents of provocateurs of violence. These people have a history of provoking state securities in this country. We were here. The under their regime in the past 6 years, at no point in time that the oppositions were ever hostile or defiant state security in this country. We were here, the 2 protests that were held in this country, the June 7 protest. The June 7 protest, when we went for that protest, if these or the security talk to us, we found was showing how when they show their hand like this, we follow their hand direction. When they do it this way, we follow their direction. We never by the time they got our hands and move their direction, everybody finds because you cannot have few handful of people and the people are so authoritative.
Okay, cool. Much for calling us on call that said we'll be transitioning to the last time we talk about the Western cluster and their road user permit on a bombing. So there's this quotation from Senator Nyambri Lawrence. It was put out 2 days ago. Nyambri Lawrence will take our time. It says, due to sustained pressure from the Liberian Senate, the Ministry of Public Works has suspended road user permit granted to Western Cluster Limited for the commercial hauling of iron ore along the free port of Monrovia to Bomi Hills Road Corridor. Due to sustained pressure from the Liberian Senate, the Ministry of Public Works has suspended the road user permit granted to Western Cluster Limited for the commercial hauling of iron ore along the free port of Monrovia to Bomi Hills Road Corridor. Recently, numerous senators have raised alarms about the operation of Western Cluster Liberia Limited, describing them as a fiasco that endanger lives, destroy public infrastructure, and depletes national resources for the benefit of foreign entities. The Senate's investigations has unequivocally demonstrated that Western Cluster Liberia Limited is incapable of fulfilling of Liberia. Revealed that Western use public roads for transporting iron ore. This use has caused significant damage to the infrastructure. Furthermore, the Ministry of Public Works reinstated Western Cluster Road user permit without conducting a critical environmental impact assessment, neglecting the safety and environment hazard posed by the trucking of iron ore to densely populated areas. In a decisive statement dated July 12, 2024, the Ministry of Works announced the immediate suspension of Western Cluster Liberia Limited's road user permit following a formal communication from the Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia, EPA. The EPA highlighted that Western Cluster Liberia Limited environmental permit for Class A exploration and processing of iron ore, phrase RBR 4MTPA DSO concentrate expire on June 5th, 2024, violating Liberia's environmental protection and management law. The failure to renew the environmental permit within 30 days constitute a direct violation of Section 5G of the road user permit, which mandates compliance with all environmental regulations and laws approved by the EPA. The Ministry of Public Works underscore the safe health and safety risks to road user and the environment resulting from Western Cluster Liberia Limited non-compliance. As such, the Ministry has invoked Section B of the permit to suspend Western Cluster operation immediately, protect public health and environmental safety. This suspension remains in full effect until Western Cluster Limited provide documents, evidence of compliance with Liberia's environmental laws. Should Western Cluster fail to rectify these violations within 60 days, the permit will be permanently revoked. So, folks, there's a communication from the Senate Pro Tem, Nyombli Kanga Lawrence. Senate Pro Tem Nyombli Kanga Lawrence. The Ministry of Public Works has once again suspended the permit of Western. You know, when Western Cluster, because he's from county and
part of it. The same situation happened with East International.
Yeah.
You could recall a situation at RRA. Also, as well, because government has specific areas. For those that are building roads, the Environmental Protection Agency will advise you as well. Why should the public works will lead you in that direction, but the Environmental Protection Agency will advise you on the environmental constraints and environmental situations affected. Why, if, for instance, a company in the Western Cluster that is carrying on mining activities. So Western Cluster, because she's carrying on mining activities, she used a lot of dangerous chemical Buckeye. Those chemicals are very dangerous. I thought we just want to talk about the raw aspect of it, right? But the environmental aspect of it cut across. There are communities, there are residential areas along the operational sides of Western Cluster. If you were to go up the mine there in Bombay, I'm saying Tottenham Bread Buckeye, where Western Cluster carrying on operation as well, you have people that are living down the mine. So you want to talk about the environmental conditions associated with the lives of those Liberians that have been positioned at that area. So the government is saying that before you carry on operation, we will go and do our testing, carry on an evaluation, understand the workings, because you'll be using the period on review assessment. Yes, because all of the different you do that within a concession or within your residence, those that reside along the concession area. So this will be conducted. So Western Cluster now, after this permit has expired, why if this serious country as with the Western Cluster were being held in contempt. Western Cluster were being made as well, because you know what it does? From the 5th of June, that Western Cluster permit expired. So this time it has been over 1 month. So what it tells you is that the company risks the lives of Liberians over 1 month without environmental permit. Without any environmental permit, without the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, the arm of government responsible to make sure your community living, right? It meets all the environmental standards. When we say environmental standard, I know they think I want to speak the simple language English, but it's been done in a way where, for instance, we can't Punch FM. Punch FM uses diesel machine, right? So the machine, the smoke is being transported, the carbon dioxide is being transported with and what have you. So EPA will come and say, the player machine is situated, but because of this machine and the sound, perhaps the smoke, perhaps the carbon dioxide has been, has been sent out, it's not all. So there's is that arm of government responsible to advise you on that. The Environmental Protection Agency also come and say, listen, Punch, where you situated, we understand it's a very good location. Again, the activities you carry on here in terms of media, use stationary, everything, and the disposal side also, it's also dangerous on the environment. It is posing a very serious problem for those that surround you. So there is a need that you relocate perhaps the disposal side or perhaps where the station is situated. It is the Environmental Protection Agency. So for instance, like the water companies that operate around, the Environmental Protection Agency will come and look through and say, okay, there's your your production site, where your margin is, or perhaps where your well is being drilled, the place you drill the water from, it's not good at all. Where you drill the water from is not good, the place is not safe, it's not healthy at all. So there is a need that you should until you look at this thing. So that's how the EPA works. So if the EPA is telling us that Western Cluster, understanding all of that function of the EPA in compliance. For instance, Buckeye, the last time I checked, a water company, if a water company is not in compliance, the EPA can shut that water company and find it. But times that EPA shut down not in environmental laws of our country. Duko was doing and our production side as well was not in compliance. On top of that, on Duko at time, the environmental permit expired and they're operating. So the Duko was suspended. The means that lesson was suspended. On top of that, it was being fined. So if you were to equate this with the operation Western Cluster that is using dangerous chemicals, Western Cluster that is of course Breakfas, there's a mining area. There's a mining exploration site, and they're using dangerous chemicals. So come to think of it, if the EPA says since June 5th, the 5th of June, this permit has expired to July 12th before the government took decision to have the permit suspended or operation of Western Cluster suspended, it's over a month. So in aspects of time, Western Cluster will have affected a lot of Iberians, infested a lot of Iberians. A lot of Iberians' health condition were being at risk on the operation of Western Cluster because the company knowing it willfully, because every company has environmental officer. You go to Assault Metal Library, you see environmental officer.
Yeah.
You go, or that's how it's supposed to be. If it's not there, you go at Golden Verona as well, you have environmental officer. You go to Mano Weapon, there should be environmental officer. At Beer Mountain as well, there should be environmental officer. Similarly with Western Cluster. So I believe that if there is an environmental officer, that environmental officer responsibility will have communicated to the company that the permit will be expired on the 5th of June. So at half time, then you apply for a new permit. Then the EPA will come and carry on an assessment again. And after the assessment, and if the EPA is satisfied with all of the environmental laws that is on the book and you are abiding by, then they give you another permit. But Western Cluster, because they believe that the system is vulnerable, so they're able to test the system. Let's look at the road condition. Okay, if you were to go on that road, and that's why if you read our communication from the Senate, the communication says that a lot of our citizens' lives are risks.
Sure.
A lot of our citizens' lives are risks. That people died on that road. Have you taken time from Clay to Tomenberg? Let's have an argument. Say from Freeport, or from Central Town for Freeport to go to Claytown. Western Cluster use that road, Mano Weapon use that road, and that of Beer Mountain use that road. So let's not blame Western Cluster for that. But let's take from Clay to Tomenberg. Short as that corridor is from Clay to Tomenberg, that road is deplorable. It's in its deplorable state.